Hello, everybody. Happy Easter. Welcome to the Wrap Up Show. I'm your host, Wheezy. Unfortunately, today we heard that my co-host is taking a break from Kermit and Friends. And while that is very sad, I hope the best for her. We all love Charmin very much. And we hope that she feels better and that she feels comfortable coming back. Until then, I have a very, 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 very special guest co-host. Wendy, welcome. Thank you
Hey,
so
Weasley.
much. You are saving my butt, Wendy. I had no co-hosts, and I didn't even know that until the last minute, and then you saved my butt, and I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, Weasley.
You're the best. And Harry, of course we have Harry. Welcome, Harry.
Hi, Weasley.
I should change my name to Weasley since Wendy is here.
Weasley.
Yeah. What did you think about the show today, you guys? It was a little bit of an emotional show for me, of course.
I thought it was good, but it was sad when Charmin's gonna leave the show.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was a really good show. I thought that Elisa was very fair by bringing in Attila and Jewel and Captain Content, who were all disagreeable with Wappy, and they all went and visited Wappy. And I thought it was fair of her to bring them up so we can get a different perspective from what was going on. Have you been watching that stream, Wendy? Welcome, Peter. Wendy, have you been watching that stream of the Wappy and Andy stream? I don't know if Wendy can hear me. Peter, can you hear me? Are we having problems with our audio? Alrighty then. Well, Wendy, you can't hear me, huh? Harry, can you hear me? Can anybody
Yes,
hear me?
I have.
Oh, okay. Maybe we're lagging. Are you having problems with your internet, Wendy? Well, we seem to be having technical
Yes,
difficulties.
I have.
There
Peter,
we go.
can you hear me, buddy?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I think Wendy might be lagging. That was it. I was afraid for a second that nobody could hear me. Hey, Bruce, welcome to the show. Sorry that was annoying, everyone. Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear Peter. No.
Yeah.
Hear
Hey,
Peter.
Huh, that's weird, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
Can you hear Bruce?
Can you hear me, Wendy? She can't hear me.
I think Wendy might have to log or.
Hey, Peter. What's up, man? Harry?
Bruce,
Yeah, Wendy, you might want to reboot. We're having co-host problems here. Peter, what did you think about today's show, man? It was pretty heavy, right?
I thought it was incredible. I think a lot of people are bringing a lot of unnecessary heat down on Elisa over her choice of Wappy as a, let's say, companion. As I said in a phone call to her, there are those of us who have that internal thing. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to do drugs. The longer he's left to his own devices, clearly he does not have that, and he needs what Wappy offers.
I agree with you completely. I mean, completely. People have been giving me shit because they're saying, oh, Wappy is so dangerous and he's going to hurt Andy. The first night, I agree with them. Like the first night before I could see the dynamic between the two, I was like even messaging Elisa, which I hardly do, being like, hey, I'm a little bit worried. This is concerning. Of course, after a couple little tips here and there, I felt similar, but it's been eased back a lot by the fact that there's a yin and yang to that relationship. And if Andy isn't scared straight, so to say, he misbehaves and he gets unruly and he is impossible to deal with. So with Wappy having a heavy hand in the way he polices Andy, that has to happen. And that's why Elisa failed at it and everybody else has failed at keeping Andy in check because they haven't been authoritative with him. Wendy, welcome back.
Is that better, Weasley?
Way better. Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
That much, and I think you were lagging, so you couldn't hear what was going on.
Happy Easter, Wendy.
Happy Easter to you too, Peter.
And all you guys, of course.
Thank you, Peter.
Happy Easter, Wendy and everybody.
Happy Easter to you too.
Wendy, what I was asking was, have you been watching Wappy and Andy a lot?
Yes, I have.
What do you think about that whole thing?
I think Wappy's a really great guy, a talented guy, and I love Andy, and I'm really proud of both of them.
I am too.
I don't think Andy is being hostage. I think Wappy's doing the right thing for Andy.
I completely agree with you. Yeah, a lot of people might disagree, and like somebody just said that the KAF chat today was intense. People were really hating on Elisa and saying stuff like, "Oh, you're just doing this so you can get paid." Elisa's not getting any money out of this. If anything, she's going out of pocket. She's donated. She sent things. It's not like Elisa's doing anything but being very, very supportive. And so she doesn't deserve all of that crap. Right, Wendy?
Right, Weasley. And I think everybody needs to knock it off because Weasley, I mean, not Weasley, Lappy is doing the right thing for Andy, and Andy is not being hostage. You people need to back up, leave Lappy and Andy alone. Lappy is helping Andy.
I agree, Wendy. You're having a bad connection again. So unfortunately, your connection is slow.
Yeah, she's breaking up back and forth again.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and message her that.
Yeah, I get.
Breaking
You
up,
know,
Wendy.
I haven't been habitually watching. I've been popping in over there every now and then and catching it. And what strikes me is Wappy is unbelievable when it comes to deal with him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean,
he's good at it, but I think Andy needs to be in some sort of a structured environment.
Poor Wendy is still trying to talk, and I can't hear her. Yeah, I kind of, I don't know. I feel like we're in the interim. There's a space in between here. We're dealing with an in between space of Andy being around craziness and drugs. Can you mute yourself, Harry, while you're not talking, because it's so loud?
No problem.
While Andy is being under Wappy's care, he's not allowed to have drugs right now, which is so good. I don't think Andy is in the position to be doing anything else but laying on that fucking cot and detoxing. I think that anything else for him right now would be overwhelming. Andy is not used to being somebody that isn't waited on. That's what he's used to being. He's been in Hollywood forever, and people in Hollywood get spoiled, and they get spoiled rotten. And so he doesn't have the same tools other people might, in my opinion. Right?
Absolutely. You lead that life of privilege. You know, you try to get by on your name, and he needs to do for himself.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the thing is with me is that, let's say tomorrow Wappy kicks Andy out. What do you think Andy's going to do? He's going to go straight to where the drugs are, because that's his natural thing that he wants to fill the void with. Right now, he's having that void filled with love and attention. And even if you don't like the way that Wappy's dealing with Andy, he's still giving him love and attention and safety. Wappy seems like he'd kill somebody for Andy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant by being around a structured environment. Whether that be family, whether that be close friends, or whether it's somebody that can give him a purpose without him knowing that we're giving you a purpose. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, to give him a chance of, okay, well, I'm getting on my feet, but not realizing that he's getting the boost to get on his feet, so to speak.
I just think that asking anything of Andy other than following the rules right now is a bad idea, because it's setting him up for failure. Right now, he just needs to chill. He just needs to chill. He's detoxing. He's just got beat up. It's only been 2 weeks. I hear an echo, Peter. Can you just mute yourself?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So with that being said, like whatever. Oh, it wasn't you, Harry. It was Peter. With that being said, like what anything else that we give Andy to do is setting him up for failure, like I just said. But giving him the leeway to just be able to sit there and be a human for a while is something that's new to him. He's been going, having people pulling him from every direction. I doubt it's probably been forever since he was able to sit on a cot for 2 weeks, be fed, massaged, taken care of without cocaine being shoved in his face or whatever, because he's Andy Dick and everybody knows that he wants to party. Wappy has a no party policy there. He might let him be drinking, but if he's not drinking, he's going to have the DTs. You get what I'm saying? So giving him any way of like moving forward would be a step backwards to me. He needs that babysitter. Like Andy admitted it today. If Attila would have taken him away, he would have gone straight to drugs. There's erasing 2 weeks of the hard work that Wappy has been doing.
I caught that.
Before, above being Wappy's or being Andy's helper and housing him right now, what he's really doing is he's being Andy's rehab. And Andy's failed at rehab 28 times from what Elisa said. Okay. He's failed at rehab 28 times. So,
but with Andy saying that, that's a step. That statement by itself is a step in the right direction, because he knows that if he would have gone with somebody else, he'd be right back into what he was doing before. So staying at Wappy's, he knows that's a good thing, as opposed to, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do more drugs if I go with these people. I mean, that is a step in the right direction.
Well,
did you notice on the stream?
Is that better now, Wappy?
Way better.
Where he wanted to leave and they counted it down and Andy slowed down and Wappy's like, oh, you can't do it.
I can explain that very well. This is exactly what happened. Andy decided to give, or Wappy decided to give Andy 10 seconds, a countdown to 10 to leave. As he was counting down, he knew Andy wasn't going to leave. He was definitely making a statement. When Andy realized that he might not be kicked out, he started crying. He said, "No, you don't mean that," because he literally thought he was being kicked out at that moment. Wappy wasn't kicking him out. Wappy was seeing what the fuck he would do and saying, listen, this is real shit. Wappy wouldn't have kicked him out at that moment. But even if you're just a watcher and an observer, you would think that that's what was happening because it's so volatile. However, what it did was it scared Andy straight to the point of him being like, oh shit, I can't do that again because Wappy almost kicked me out. When he cried and he said, you don't mean that. To me, it told a huge story. It said Andy thought he was going to have to go back out into the real world where he has no defenses and nobody helping him, no resources, just going to go out into the fucking Vegas streets and get beat up again. And for Wappy saying, well, you didn't make it in time, I guess you're just going to have to stay here. That's probably the best words he's ever heard in his life at that moment, because he knew he had safety. And I think that was the turning point when he realized this guy's not trying to abuse me. He's actually trying to save me, and he's doing it in very weird ways. I mean, tough love times a million. But it showed to me that, like, Andy at that moment realized, okay, this guy does have my best interest in mind. If you look at the statements Andy was making about Wappy before that incident and then the statements he was making afterwards, he was saying weird things about Wappy before then, like, this guy's fucking crazy and shit like that. Afterwards, he only apologizes for Wappy. He's like, no, this guy has my best interest. He's protecting me. So I think that was a very important little turning point for everything, you know?
And it gets back to something Lisa said, that he's been passed, when he was younger, he was passed around so much. And so he was really, really expecting then that he was going to lose what he was starting to build up with Wappy.
Great point.
I've been forgetting to read the chat. You're getting a lot of shout outs, everybody. Okay, Wendy, let's talk. Let me see if Kenneth is here. Kenneth is here. Welcome to the stream, Kenneth. Wendy, I wanted to make sure that you're not lagging anymore, because that was the worst ever that you were lagging.
I'm sorry about that, Weasley.
That's okay. You're good now. Welcome to the show, Kenneth. Will you be singing a song today?
Yeah, I can give it a go.
Cool. I appreciate it. Did you watch
I
the
caught a
show?
little bit of the show, but I didn't get a chance to see it all the way through. But I caught a little bit of it.
Shout out to Smokey. Kenneth, will you please give a shout out to Smokey?
Hello,
Shout out to
Smokey.
Smokey.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay. What did you guys think about the Attila Jewel connection? Because Attila and Jewel are kind of famous on YouTube for being pieces of shit. And then for them to have that crossover and then kind of seem somewhat normal when they were on Elisa's, it was kind of confusing.
That's the first time I've ever seen those people.
Up on the drama with KAF has been quite enough.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I didn't know anything about those two until I started watching the Wappy thing, and then once I started watching the Wappy thing, it was very evident that they were nuts. I have 3 of the worst microphones I've ever had on my show here right now with Bruce, Peter, and Harry. You guys all have to step up your microphone game because it's all quiet. And you guys have to mute yourselves. Just need to get some fucking headphones, and then we'll be much better off.
Are you hearing me okay,
Kenneth,
Weezy?
you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. But
Weezy, mine was
Is
because
that
I had
better,
the fire on
Weezy?
in the background. That better?
a little bit better. I just don't
Okay.
like hearing.
Next time
No,
I'll use my
Bruce, yours is
laptop.
bad. Everybody, if you're not wearing headphones, then I can just hear you back. I can hear everything that's
Right.
happening, and
Well,
the viewers
I'm
don't
sorry.
like so much. It's okay, Bruce, but we're gonna just get some headphones before the next time. You'll have some rules. Here, let me.
Okay. Okay.
This is
All
an
right.
absolute nightmare. An absolute nightmare with the microphones right now. We even have shout out to Kenneth's mic. We even have the chat going crazy about how bad the microphones are. We need to step up our game here. We're professional broadcasters, right, Wendy? Oh no. Now Wendy's lagging.
Well, we know Wendy is.
All right, Kenneth, I really need your help right now. I need you to sing a song for us. Is that okay? Can you do that?
Give me a moment to cue it up.
All right, just cue it up. I'm flailing here. I'm drowning. I have to leave soon for Easter, and nothing's going right on the show. But it happens sometimes. I think that I'm just so upset that Charmin left me forever that the weight of that is just so heavy.
Charmin left
Yes. Kenneth, if you had watched
permanently or just for?
She announced today that it might be the last of her appearances on Kermit and Friends for quite
I
a
hope
while.
she doesn't isolate herself.
And that she might not
Is
be
she
on
under the
wrap-up
weather
show.
or something?
She's had a lot of trolls coming after her, and it hasn't been good, Kenneth. I mean,
Oh man,
I think your song. Thank you, Yelly. I hope she is because I am shook. She left because she was upset. She's having a lot of trolls around here. We all love Charmin, but nobody wants anybody to have to deal with real life trolls. Luckily, none of you motherfuckers know anything about my real life, and so I am safe.
I've dealt with trolls. Sometimes you just gotta learn to have thick skin.
Yeah,
Because I've dealt with trolls, and I'm learning that very lesson myself.
that's a good idea, Toast. Maybe AW can get Bruce a new mic since they do know each other. Kenneth, let's have you sing a song and kind of just redeem us a little bit because we've been really.
All right, give me a moment to turn it up.
Okay, everybody, please give it up to Kenneth.
On the day I was born, nurses all gathered round, engaged with wide wonder at the joy they had found. The head nurse spoke up, said, "Leave this one alone." She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad, 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 bad to the bone. Broke 1,000 hearts before I met you. Break 1,000 more, baby, before I am through. I wanna be yours, pretty baby, yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad, 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 bad to the bone. I'll make a rich woman beg. I'll make a good woman steal. Make an old woman blush. I'll make a young girl squeal. Wanna be yours, pretty baby. Yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone. Bad, 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 bad to the bone.
Kenneth, you're a badass.
That ain't better, Wheezy.
Way better.
No,
Thank you
I
so
walk the
much,
streets.
Harry.
No, when I walk the streets, kings and queens step aside. Every woman I meet, they all stay satisfied. Wanna tell you, pretty baby, what I see I make my own. I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad, 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 bad to the bone.
Sorry for the premature clapping there. I didn't know we were done.
It's all right.
I thought
It's
we
all
were
right.
done.
I'm done. The song was nearing its end
Okay.
anyway.
Bad. Well,
Thank you, Harry, for getting. You don't have to mute yourself anymore. You're awesome. Thank you. Wendy, welcome back. I'm sorry about your internet connection, but we love you here, so we'll put up with that shit. Amazing job, Kenneth. Like really, really good.
Excellent, Kenneth. Excellent.
So good at karaoke.
Excellent.
I'm jealous.
Great as always.
When it comes to songs for me, I try to pick one that I try to look for one that I can get into.
Yeah,
And that was one of my favorites growing up.
That's a good song, Kenneth. I really do say
that one and Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger.
I'd love to hear you sing that, but I will say this: I am dying to hear you sing the REM song. What's the frequency, Kenneth? I think it would be great.
I'll have to work on that. That'll be one I'll have to work on. I might consider it. It'll just be something I'll have to work on.
No, do it. Do it now. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Well, I know Miss Wendy is going to be doing a song for us as well, and I was going to let Supertramp continue on because he has all the things, but he's working today, so we're going to have to cut this short, probably in about 5 or 6 minutes, unfortunately. But to just wrap up the show today, because we didn't really get to get Wendy's full version of it because she was cutting out. Wendy, what did you think? This is what I'm curious about. what did you think about the people that came over to Wappy's house that he kicked out, but then later came on her show today, the guy and the girl? Did you think they were being honest?
No, not really.
Did you think they were kind of fibbing and that they really were trying to kidnap Andy?
Yes, I do, Weasley. Yes.
Oh, Wendy, I wish your connection was better. I don't know how we're going to be able to do a song with you lagging so much. We might have to have Harry sing.
If need be,
I don't
Weezy,
sing.
I can go one. I can go one more if you need me to. I can go one more.
Hey,
You dang sure don't want me singing.
Oh, not me either.
I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
What is with Wendy's internet? Do we have any Wendy friends that could call her and say, Wendy, what is going on with your internet?
Sir.
Happy Easter to you. Happy
and
Easter.
You too, Bruce. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bruce, will you do me a favor and tell everyone Happy Easter, please?
Everybody. I said even this morning, Happy Easter to everyone. Everybody. I mean that.
Thank you so much.
And God bless.
We're having a microphone issue today, everybody. I'm sorry.
Here we go. All right. Next week, I will make sure I have earbuds.
Okay, thank you. It's a very easy.
I'll just mute out.
It's very simple. Kenneth, you know what? I think I've had enough of the echoing today, and I get to go hang out with my little nieces and my nephews, and we're going to go look for Easter eggs that are hidden in like a 4-acre forest. So it's going to be very fun.
That'll be fun.
I would love for you, and thank you guys all for coming on the show, and thank you everybody for joining and watching. Sorry it was such a different show than usual, but I'm
That's all right, man.
Oh, before we go though, we do have the man, the myth, the legend, Johnny fucking B. Welcome to the show, Johnny B.
I'm sorry.
What's up there, Johnny B? Good to see you.
I want to give a message to everybody out there. I've been on the phone with Miss Sharman.
Thank you, Leaf. I love you very
She's
much.
up in her room. Just leave me alone. This is not a permanent goodbye. It's going to be more of a hiatus for a while to try to get some things straightened out and try to figure out what's going on. She loves the Kermit and Friends family. She's felt a lot of positive connection towards everything since she's been here, and she's not going to leave that all.
In other words, she just has some issues she has to get taken care of, Johnny B.
Yeah. Hey to everybody out there in Leoland, Gonzo, Baloney.
Yeah, Gonzo definitely did want like a personal shout out. That sounded less like a personal shout out. That kind of sounded like you grouped Gonzo into everybody else. Could you give him a personal shout out?
Hey, Gonzo.
Thank you, Johnny.
Love you,
that
bro.
means a lot to me. Kenneth, I would like to ask Johnny B, since he is a karaoke king, if he would like to close us out and you could just save your song. No, Johnny?
My throat's a little messed up.
Oh, okay. Well, Kenneth, you still will.
I can go one more.
Okay.
Well,
before we do that, I do want to get a summary from Johnny B on the show today. What did you think about everything that you saw today, Johnny B?
There's a lot to put on the thing. I think one thing that I'm more concerned about is people not feeling safe being somewhere. With the Wheezy and or Wappy and Andy thing. A happy Easter to everybody. I'm going to make Johnny B shout out at NTFT. What the hell is that?
Rick Handerer, thank you so much for coming in here. You're a big famous dude, and thank you for giving Brant's information out because he's so very important to everyone's community. Sorry, John, for interrupting you.
Yeah. I think Andy's in better hands than he's been in, but Wappy is a short fuse. I seen him go off on him and talk kind of rough with him, and I think that's exactly kind of what Andy needs, is someone to be on him so that he'll actually listen.
I agree with you.
Yo,
100%.
Oh my God, come on! Andy's such a little bitty guy. He barely thumped him the other day when they were walking around. I saw that clip.
Broke those ribs, yeah.
Yeah, he said, "You broke my ribs, man." He's sitting outside. I can't breathe. He barely touched him, and Andy's, call 911,
yeah.
type thing. And of course, then Andy plays juvenile by sitting there. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. You can't do this to me. Well, that's like a little kid. Andy's body and his age and his mind haven't quite completely locked up all the way because he goes back and forth. Of course, that might be some of the
I agree with you.
pharmaceuticals he's done throughout the years is eating away a good.
I honestly think part of it is like if you're detoxing or coming off of like a lifetime of drugs, your brain is not going to be normal. You are going to go through a flood of different emotions. I mean, that guy cries. He can cry at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, I get kind of sentimental sometimes myself, but that's a different story.
Right, but I think that this part of him getting clean, if you will, like this little whatever phase this is right here, is like the most important phase.
It's not really getting him clean. He's buying him vodka.
But Johnny B, comparatively to doing fentanyl and cocaine, this is clean, buddy. And if he stopped drinking cold turkey, Andy would have a dead man in his house. The DTs are real with that guy. He shakes if he doesn't drink. So you have to be able to at least give him some alcohol. If I'm him, I'm weaning him off. But Andy's also a full-grown ass adult. So that's a tough one. But I mean, I do agree to you with you to an extent. Of course, he is providing him alcohol, but that's a necessity. It's an absolute necessity.
The alcohol's one of the worst things he could be doing when he's trying to come up off of other drugs.
But don't you think that if he stopped alcohol, he would just be shivering and shaking and shitting himself in the corner?
Well, you can give, there's some things you can give to help with the symptoms of coming off the alcohol to make them a little bit easier. Just like the people coming off of cocaine and opioid pills that they're overdoing, and they give them, Suboxone?
Johnny B, we have a problem.
Sorry
to interrupt you, but Rick Hander, the famous knife maker, is talking shit about you right now. And he says that you buy your knives from Walmart. Luckily, we do have some defending. Gonzo, I agree with the sentiment. Rick Hander, you might be a badass and you might be the best knife maker in the world, but talking shit about Johnny B just makes you a hater.
I collect my knives. I bought them everywhere, and it's not just Walmart. I mean, I got good products like Buck knives and things like this. I mean, I don't have a lot of real cheap stuff.
Well, there was an apology from Rick. I think he was kind of put into his place a little bit, and he didn't know that you were a celebrity. So. All right, Johnny B. Well, you came in at the very end. Wendy left because she had such bad connection.
There you go.
So I'm
See you, Harry.
Offer this to you right now, Johnny B. Next week, would you like to be my guest co-host? I would be honored.
Well, I can't. Everything goes on a week to week. If I can be available, yes.
Okay, thank you.
We got
take care of your voice so that
everybody needs to take care of. Watch out for Miss Sharman any way they can too. Anybody that really does care about her, reach out to her, let her know, give her support to know that we're here for her. We're trying to figure out what's going on and how her stuff is being. I don't want to go into a lot
it's
of
not meant for us to know, Johnny B.
John and I have had a good conversation. That's all.
Right.
Maybe it's not meant for us to know. If it was meant for us to know, we would know.
Well, he had a very good conversation with her, and I think he's just trying to be careful on what he shares with us.
People can do things coherently. What is it? What I would say. Sometimes I don't get my word. Incognito is coming. It's what the problem that's coming to her is, from what I'm gathering and feeling. It's not a direct. It's running through different channels, and they're doing backdoor situations and things like this. I don't want to go. It's not good. It's not good. Sharman needs to have people that can advise her and help her and fix the problem. I worry about her. She's a very sweet lady. I was so glad to meet her.
Yeah, I love Sharman. I definitely want her to be part of this community for a long time. And if it takes her having to take a break from us, then
she needs to step back and check through some things and try to figure out what's going on that's causing her some issues. And all I can do is say, everybody, raise your glass and give a tribute to Miss Sharman. She's a sweet lady. If
Thanks, Gonzo.
Spark it up and take a hit for her and try to keep her.
Love you, Gonzo.
Be able to come back around.
God bless Sharman.
Gonzo's the best. He is a rascal too, though.
He is.
Okay,
Gonzo something
I
else.
love Gonzo. I'm a huge Gonzo fan.
Weezy, go do your Easter egg hunt.
If you've been around long enough to have Gonzo be able to imitate you or try to portray you,
How flattering
imitation is the best form of flattery that there is.
Absolutely.
And Gonzo is pretty good at getting a lot of people.
Gonzo's the best. I have to say that. Okay, well, thank you again, guys, for coming. I hate to do this, but I have to leave. And I thank you, everyone, for watching and sticking through with us.
Thing today,
got
man.
off to a rocky start. But we are going to have
you and your family.
Thank you very much, Peter. We're going to have Kenneth sing us off. And so, Kenneth, if you would please take it away.
Have a good one,
Let's do
Weezy.
it.
Rock and roll, Kenneth.
Thank you, guys.
Let's do it. Just take those old records off the shelf. I'll sit and listen to 'em by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time on rock and roll. Don't try to take me to a disco. You'll never even get me out on the floor. In 10 minutes I'll be late for the door. I like that old time on rock and roll. Still like that old time on rock and roll. That kind of music just suits the soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time on rock and roll.
You go, Kenneth.
To hear the tango. I'd rather hear some blues or some funky old soul. There's only one way to get me to go. Start playing old time on rock and roll. Call me a relic, call me what you will. Say I'm old fashioned, say I'm over the hill. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time on rock and roll. Still like that old time on rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes the soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time of rock and roll. Still like that old time of rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes the soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time of rock and roll. Still like that old time of rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes the soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time of rock and roll. Still like that old time of rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes the soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time of rock and roll. Still like that old time of rock and roll. Alrighty, everyone. Have a good Easter, and we shall see you next week.